Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into building software without code. So let's start with a universal frustration. I mean, something almost everyone has felt at some point, right? You're sitting there, and boom, it hits you. This absolutely brilliant idea. Maybe it's a tool that would completely streamline your workday, or this concept for an app that you just know people would love. But then you hit a wall, a massive, totally impenetrable wall. You literally don't have the technical skills to build the thing. And honestly, it's incredibly frustrating to have an amazing idea trapped inside your head just because you don't speak the language of computers.
Well, if that scenario resonates with you, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. For decades, the ability to build software has been guarded behind years of complex study and honestly, really frustrating syntax errors. But I am absolutely thrilled to tell you today that the core premise of this explainer is going to change how you view technology forever. Because that intimidating technological barrier, it is literally a thing of the past now. We're entering this whole new era where just having the idea is the only requirement to bringing it to life.
Okay, let's jump straight into Section 1, the end of complex coding, crushing the barrier to entry.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The old way of doing things, that steep, grueling mountain of learning complex software engineering, it's gone. It's been effectively eliminated by a platform called Replit. According to Replit's Michele Catasta, they've completely removed all that messy complexity that traditionally made a software engineer's job so incredibly hard. So we're now living in this reality where everyday folks, people who never really felt they had permission to create software, are actually doing it, and they're doing it with zero coding skills whatsoever. It's almost like waving a magic wand.
And look, we aren't just talking about making tiny, basic templates here. People are taking their big business ideas and going from 0 to 1 completely. They start with literally nothing but a thought, and they walk away with fully functional software. And they're building the whole shebang without writing a single line of traditional code. Catasta points out that this shift is just profoundly impactful. I mean, giving people the power to create like this is quite literally changing lives.
Which brings us to Section 2. Just type your idea. Natural language as the new code. And this brilliantly illustrates how the process works in practice. It's basically just 3 steps now. Let's look at a really simple example. Say you want to build a custom app to track expenses for your small bakery. Step 1, you have the idea in your head. Step 2, you go to Replit and just type it in plain English. You literally just say, build me an app to track daily bakery expenses with a pie chart. Just exactly how you describe it to a friend. And then step 3, you just sit back and watch the magic happen as it builds the app right before your eyes. You just describe what you want and boom, that complex coding process is entirely eliminated.
What this means is the playing field is completely leveled now. Whether you're aiming to build full, robust software, create custom websites, or honestly, even just automate common daily tasks to make your own life a bit easier, it's now just as easy as typing a natural language sentence. That frustrating friction between your brain and the screen, it's gone. Building complex software and doing simple, common digital tasks now require the exact same amount of effort. You literally just explain what you want.
And I think this quote perfectly captures the vibe of this new reality. Catasta observes that Replit has made creation so accessible that users' relationships with the software have fundamentally changed. As he puts it, they don't even feel that they're writing code anymore. It just feels like you have an idea in your mind and you're directly manifesting it right into reality. It doesn't feel like rigid engineering anymore. It feels way more like pure, unadulterated creation.
Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. The engine behind the magic, Replit plus Anthropic's Claude. Now, obviously, this level of intuitive magic doesn't just happen out of thin air. To completely remove that massive barrier to entry, you really need an AI agent with a very high IQ. And Catasta uses this really brilliant analogy to explain it. He says the AI models are like the car engine, while Replit is building the entire car around it. So to make sure their car ran better than anything else on the road, Replit picked Anthropic's Claude to act as their powerhouse engine.
And man, the timeline of this partnership shows just an incredibly rapid pace of innovation. Replit actually made the choice to go with Anthropic back in early 2024 when Sonnet 3.5 came out because, as they noted, Anthropic had kept the lead in having the absolute best coding models on the market. But then look at early 2025. Anthropic gave Replit early access to Sonnet 3.7. Replit rushed to build their agent v2 around this new engine. And literally on the exact same day Anthropic launched the new model, Replit launched their new agent. To put that into perspective, in the tech world, integrating a new model used to take months of painful debugging. Replit pulled it off in a matter of hours, which gave them this incredible marketing pop.
You can really feel the childlike enthusiasm from Catasta and his team when they talk about this stuff. He actually describes getting access to the early research previews of these new Anthropic models as feeling like receiving a shiny toy at Christmas. For them, that whole discovery process, tinkering and figuring out exactly what these new high IQ models are capable of doing, it's absolutely the most exciting window of time they have.
Moving right along to Section 4, Building Software Made Easy, a Massive Scale of Adoption.
Now, what's really interesting about this number is that when you combine an incredibly powerful engine with a car designed so literally anyone can drive it, the adoption scale just explodes. We are absolutely not talking about some niche tool for hobbyists anymore. You might think this kind of natural language programming is still some hidden tech secret, but Replit recently crossed a staggering 40 million registered users. That's 40 million people logging on to turn their ideas into reality, completely bypassing the need for a computer science degree. And that staggering level of mass adoption, it comes directly from delivering a product that completely shatters everyone's prior expectations. As Catasta notes, they grabbed all this attention simply because users are experiencing something in the product that they have literally never seen before. When someone who has never coded a day in their life suddenly realizes they can build a working app just by typing out their thoughts, it completely reshapes their entire understanding of what they're actually capable of achieving.
And for Catasta, this whole journey is deeply personal. He mentions that when he was just a 16-year-old kid, he was entirely focused on becoming a good open-source developer. And today, he just loves that he's still working on the exact same thing he was so passionate about as a teenager. Making code in this incredibly accessible to absolutely everyone has basically become his life mission. It's this beautiful, full-circle moment that is now empowering millions of people all around the globe.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this: that old intimidating barrier that kept your brilliant ideas locked away inside your head, it has been completely crushed. The complex engineering has been fully abstracted away, and it's been replaced by the natural language you use every single day. The power to create software is no longer a privilege reserved for a select few. It is right there, accessible to you right now. So ask yourself, if the only limit to technology is now your own imagination, what incredible idea will you build from 0 to 1? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see what you create.